Today in the news, deaths in Texas from COVID-19 increased to 1,049 as Dallas furloughs city workers after the virus has been crushing city finances. The city of Dallas has been awarded a $600,000 EPA Brownfield Assessment Grant to revitalize South Dallas, and of course the City of Dallas Hospital Capacity Report. Today is May 11th, 2020, and this is Dallas Weekly News. Hello, I'm your host, Patrick Washington, and this is Dallas Weekly News. The number of COVID-19 related deaths reported in Texas increased by 45 on Saturday to a total of 1,049. The Texas Department of State Health Services reported 1,251 new cases of the coronavirus on Saturday, bringing the state's total number of cases to 37,860. There were 1,219 cases of the virus reported the day before. The true numbers are likely higher because many people have not been tested, and studies suggest people can be infected and not feel sick. Friday was the first day barbershops and hair salons could reopen in Texas. Last week, restaurants and retailers in the state were allowed to begin reopening with limited capacity, between 25 and 50%. For most people, the coronavirus causes mild or moderate symptoms, such as fever and cough, that clear up in 2 to 3 weeks. For others, some especially older adults with people with health conditions, it can cause more severe illness, including pneumonia and possibly death. Dallas officials announced Friday that around 500 of the city's approximately 13,000 workers will be furloughed for 2.5 months starting next week because of the coronavirus pandemic that has decimated municipal finances. The move came as deaths in Texas linked to COVID-19 topped 1,000 on Friday, with confirmed cases topping 36,600. The true numbers are likely higher because many people have not been tested, and studies suggest people can be infected and not feel sick. The furloughs is to run from Wednesday through July 31st and will include employees across 10 departments. Use of paid leave and vacation time will not be allowed, but furloughed workers will continue to be covered by the city's health care plan and will be eligible for unemployment benefits, according to the city manager, T.C. Broadnax. In a letter sent Friday to employees, Broadnax said the April-long economic shutdown imposed by the outbreak was expected to cause a $25 million budget shortfall this year. Governor Greg Abbott is slowly easing restrictions on the business activity, but Broadnax said a shortfall of $73 million to $134 million was still expected in the next year's budget. Broadnax said no essential workers or non-essential workers approved for working from home will be affected immediately. However, this may not be the last furlough needed to meet the challenge of slashed city revenue from the economic shutdown and subsequent squeeze. He said the effort to stabilize the city workforce may require intermittent furlough days, additional job positions selected for the extended furloughs, even layoffs. Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson, who said he had known such measures were likely, added in a statement Friday that the city's fiscal horizon remained cloudy. As much of a blow the pandemic dealt to the Dallas finances, it pales next to those faced by Houston, where the economy is still dependent on the oil and gas industry. The price of oil has recovered to about $25 a barrel after plunging below zero last month as demand vanished because of the worldwide COVID-19 lockdown. As a result, Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner expected a city budget deficit of about $200 million, the worst in the history of his city of more than 2.3 million people, the country's fourth largest city. The Environmental Protection Agency awarded the City of Dallas a Brownfields Assessment Coalition grant in the amount of $600,000, with an initial focus targeting the revitalization of the South Dallas Fair Park area. Mayor Eric Johnson accepted the award on behalf of the City of Dallas from Ken McQueen, EPA Region 6 Administrator, on a joint conference call. Also present were the nonprofit members from the city-formed coalition, the Real Estate Council Foundation, St. Philip's School and Community Center, and the Lone Star Justice Alliance. The grant was one of three awarded to Texas cities. The EPA Brownfield Assessment Grant is designed to address properties called brownfields with actual or perceived contamination that often complicates the reuse and development of the infrastructure or the land. The city-led coalition will utilize the grant funds to revitalize priority brownfield sites, thereby helping to address these socioeconomic challenges facing the community. The primary target areas include the 277-acre Fair Park campus and the surrounding neighborhoods, the 2-mile-long MLK Jr. corridor, and the 72-acre neighborhood surrounding St. Philip's School and Community Center. A preliminary Brownsfield inventory identifies over 100 suspected contaminated properties within the target area. The grant makes possible site inventory, identification and assessment of contamination, as well as information delivery and engagement. 3 specific areas are outlined in the $600,000 grant: Fair Park with the Ford Assembly Plant and the city-owned property of Oak Lane, St. Philip's Focus Area with audio repair shops in Pennsylvania Avenue, Procter & Gamble Industrial Complex and derelict retail buildings on Holmes Street, the MLK Corridor Focus Area and historic Ford Theater, and former Jim's Car Wash on MLK Jr. Boulevard. And it is anticipated that the grant will be available for use by October 2020. In terms of Brownsfield's revitalization and reuse, the City of Dallas and its partners have impressive track record of collaboration by leveraging multiple resources in support of the process. The EPA, the city, and the nonprofit partners believe that effective community engagement is the key to success of the Brownsfield's reclamation work. Relationships built by the coalition partners and other committed groups address the fears and the hopes of South Dallas. This component makes sure community input is heard and higher numbers of the community members are engaged in an overall process. The objective of bringing new economic vibrancy to the area by increasing the tax base and improving the environmental result in a brighter future is a brighter future for everyone. And now the City of Dallas Hospital Capacity Report as of May 7, 2020. This has been Dallas Weekly News. I am your host, Patrick Washington. You can find these and more stories on dallasweekly.com. Of course, you can follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And as always, please stay home, stay safe, and we will see you tomorrow.